If you were to give advice to someone who's typing all the time and
Stop, please. I ran for the Member of Parliament for Ottawa. I didn't win. I lost by 100 votes. I always felt that I won that. You might not get what you first thought you wanted, but you may end up with something that you're very proud of doing.
A few weeks ago, while traveling through northern Canada, I had the chance to sit down with one of the most iconic women in the Yukon, Ione. Ione is recognized as one of Canada's most distinguished women. She was appointed to the Senate of Canada and was later awarded the Order of Canada for her services to her country. Ione, at 90 years old, is one of the oldest people I've ever interviewed, but she's also the most satisfied. I usually don't meet people who have no regrets in life. In this video, Ione is going to be sharing her best life advice for someone of your age and her tips on living a more fulfilling life. She shared some of the most honest and brutally true advice I've ever heard. So without further ado, I think you will really enjoy this one.
How old are you?
I'm 90 years old, and in another 3 weeks, I will be 91.
What does it feel like to be 90 years old and almost 91?
Just like another day. You're opening one door and you're closing another.
You feel your age?
I certainly feel 91. I do not recommend old age. They say it's the golden years and it's the rusty years.
What do you think are the reasons why you've been able to get to this age and still feeling the way you are, thinking the way you are, acting the way you are?
I have come from a lineage of people who have lived quite a long time. I know I've been outdoors. I've been a very active person all my life. Not now, but I used to work out at the gym 3 times a week. And, things like that just help you live a little longer. Because I feel that all of us that are my age and older have passed our best before days. Now we're sort of thinking, well, how can we find ways of allowing these people to do what we call a MAID, medically assisted dying?
Talking not about yourself.
Not at the moment. It depends on how you feel.
What is it like to get older? I'm 25, just for reference. So what is it like to be older?
It's a process. How do you measure your years? You just accept life an issue at a time. 2 years ago, I moved from my home. I had to empty it all out after 62 years. Then I moved into Normandy, which is a assisted living for seniors. So I closed that door, moved into the next one. It's different, totally different, but you have to accept these things and be able to adjust to them. And it's very, very important to have people around you when you get older, because the more socializing you can put into your life, the more healthy you are.
Is that what you would say keeps you going?
Yes, definitely. I belong to a number of clubs and organizations, and I do interesting things like this with nice young men like you.
You've achieved a lot of successes in your life. What is your proudest accomplishment?
Just to have gotten this far.
It's a damn good one, yeah.
I was fortunate in my husband, who was very, very supportive of everything I did. If you don't try, you don't know. That was his philosophy, and it worked. Prime Minister would phone and say, Ione, we'd like you to be the senator. I want you here in Ottawa on Monday morning. And I said, oh, God, an Art was standing at the door, and he said, just say yes and let's go. You better try. You can always come home and not do finish it. Not many people get asked to be these things. And that's the way it happens.
So I'm assuming Art is not around?
No, unfortunately, he was ready to go. He was deaf and blind at the end. He was very unhappy. He wanted to die in his own home, but he couldn't because I couldn't look after him anymore. And he was happy to go.
How long were you guys together for?
62 years.
Well, can you define the word love?
Respect. Respecting the other person, because you don't agree. You have to be able to accept what another person is saying. You can put forward your argument too, and have that respect right from the beginning.
If you guys have watched any of my recent videos, you have probably seen this goal-setting journal. Instead of talking to you about it today again, I just want to let you listen to people who have actually used it and what they have to say.
Really looking to take things to the next level this year with my business, as well as get fit, take fitness a lot more seriously. And in my opinion, any goal that's really worth achieving in this life requires consistency and accountability. This thing right here will do both for you.
And for the first 100 people who click the link in the description and grab a copy, because it's the holiday season, we're giving away over $1,500 of bonuses to all of you. Don't let another year slip by. Click the link, grab yours today, and make some real change.
So right now, just for reference for people who are listening, we're in the Yukon, which is in northern Canada. Can you describe what the Yukon is like, living here is like?
It's a beautiful place to live, and it's all of the things that I have been fortunate enough to do during my lifetime. I think that I would not be able to do them anywhere else. It's a smaller community. People know you and you know them. I enjoy going out into the wilderness. I enjoy hunting and fishing, and this place offers you that.
What do you think people are missing then? Like someone who lives in a big city that is feeling isolated and lonely and whatnot. What do you think that they might be able to incorporate to experience what you've been experiencing?
Well, when you live in a big city, you don't meet people. You walk down the street and everybody's walking around looking at their iPad. You don't have the connection with people. They don't talk to people. You don't talk to people on the streets. I mean, we talk to everybody. You know, you just, there's Bill, there's Mary, and there's Sue. Nowadays, people are too busy to even look up to see if there's another person.
What are we missing out by being too busy?
You're missing, I think, the most important thing in life, and that is to be part of the society and just to be part of everything instead of just being a cog in a big, big wheel.
If you were to give advice to someone who's living in a big city, maybe someone who's typing all the time and walking around.
Stop, please. Look at people. I have my car here, and I have a walker, and I have to put it in and out of that. If I go downtown and have to open that back of that hatch 3 times in my trip downtown, 2 of those openings, I'll have somebody coming over and say, "Hey, can I help you with that? Do you need any help?" You wouldn't have that in a busy city. People wouldn't look. I still get it day after day after day, and it's delightful. Just that they've taken this time to look and see.
A lot of people my age have a very negative outlook on the future, but you've been through so many different conflicts that you could say there was a huge worry and things tend to get better. What was life like back then, and is it better or worse in your opinion?
Well, there's always problems. There's always problems. There's no such thing as the perfect place, time to live, or anything else. Those cycles will continue. Unfortunately, mankind seems to like wars for some reason. And we're about the only animal that does. And it doesn't do any good for anybody, but it's happening all the time. And I think the biggest cycle that we have to deal with and worry about is climate change. It's the most difficult one to solve because everybody has to be involved. That's not going to happen. I would love it to happen, but I don't think it's going to. Not in our time. Of course, I only have a few more years. But no.
You never know. You got the longevity gene. Out of all the inventions that you've seen over the course of your lifetime, what would you say is the one that you think transformed the world the most?
Computers. Well, for me, it was wonderful. I'm dyslexic. I can't spell well, but when I got a computer, suddenly I can spell. Computer age I think has changed people a lot. People depend on the computers so much. I don't think they're healthy. AI that's coming up, that I think can be very dangerous. Very dangerous indeed. They're a good tool, but they can be abused.
Someone listening, what is a truth about life that you wish more people understood?
I was a judge for a couple of years. I found that nobody that I could find was a criminal. They were people that the tip situations that they would, as children and young adults, be involved with that led them to the place where they were. They weren't criminals. They were there not because of what they did, but from who they were mostly. It's usually pretty clear if there is some misdemeanor that has taken place and that shouldn't have, like burning something down or stealing something. And these are bad things. You should not be doing it. So you have a long talk with the individual and try to treat them in a respectful way.
Suppose that the person listening here is 25, 35, somewhere there, and they're younger.
And they're shaking their head and saying, that old lady doesn't know what she's talking about.
No. You've lived longer than the average. You've achieved a lot of good successes. You're very happy. What's your advice, strategies, formulas? How would you recommend they achieve what you've achieved?
What I've achieved was not planned, could not be planned. Find something that you might want to do. Oh, that is going to change. I was going to be a veterinarian. That's what I had planned on doing. and they required a 70% average. I was about 65. I couldn't go to get my education there. So I had to find something else that I could do and be able to make a living. Just keep soldiering on. You might not get what you first thought you wanted, but you may end up with something that you're very proud of doing. I ran for the Member of Parliament for Ottawa. I didn't win, but I lost by 100 votes. It wasn't too bad. I always felt that I won that because I was not really ready to go to Ottawa at that point. I would have gone if I'd won, and I would have done the best job I possibly could. And I probably would have been able to do a good job. But I wasn't ready. My family was too young. So by losing, I think I was the winner, actually. I've always felt like the winner anyhow. You know, somebody was up there saying, it's not really Christians that slow down. There's lots of opportunities out there. You should take advantage of those opportunities if they are offered to you. And if they don't work out, well, it's fine. It's not nothing on you. It's very much a crapshoot.
I thought you were going to say it's a mindset.
No. Mindset.
That's what you meant to say, right? If you could go back in time to your 25-year-old self, knowing everything that you know today, you could give her one piece of advice just on living a good life, what would that be?
Follow your dreams. Follow that little feeling right in your gut, right just under your wishbone in your chest, and it'll tell you where to go.
Thank you.
Is that okay?
What do you think? That was great.
How much that's going to get cut?
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't yet had a chance to grab a copy of our goal-setting journal and make some real change this year, click the link in the description and grab your $1,500 of bonuses as well. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.